Okay. So as we begin, we'll come into a comfortable position, reclining, face up. Allow yourself to take a couple of moments and see what you need. If you need a cushion or a pillow under your knees, then please feel free to use one. If you need a blanket or a throw or something to be a little warmer, then feel free to make those arrangements as you like. And if you want to have an extra cushion on hand, that could be useful. I'll show you why. For some of the hand positions that we will be using, you might find your arms getting a little tired. So at any point, if you wish to place a cushion over your chest, as I'm doing now, and then place your elbows over top, you'll notice that it might be a little bit easier for some of these hand positions where your arms don't feel quite as tired, and your shoulders might also feel less tired. So as we're relaxed, we're reclining, feel free to take a moment just for yourself here. Allow your whole body to release a little bit more into the surface underneath. As we go through our healing tonight, if you notice that you need to make more adjustments, then feel free. If you have learned Reiki and you've learned the Reiki symbols, what's called the Reiki symbols, feel free to place them right into the center of your chest. So you can draw each one, place it into the center of the chest, and then repeat the name of that symbol 3 times. And I'm doing that for everyone who is here with us. If you haven't learned the Reiki symbols or you haven't learned Reiki at all, take one hand and place it over your upper chest. And take your other hand and place it on your belly or your upper abdomen. And just come in contact with your breath for a few moments. If you have finished placing all of the Reiki symbols into your heart center, you can just take both hands and place them over the heart, or bring one hand over the heart, the other hand over the solar plexus or upper abdomen. And take a few moments, for everyone here, take a few moments and connect with your breath. So I didn't say here to amplify the breath in any way, but rather connect with the natural breath, the exact way that the breathing is happening in this moment. And if you have a healing intention, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, or any combination of those, then allow yourself to mentally connect with that healing intention. all of the things I mentioned just now are internal things. There are a lot of people right now who I know are suffering on any or all of these levels. And then there are people who are the caretakers, the people who are the helpers. And even the helpers are suffering. Even the helpers are in need of healing. You might find that you're maybe one or even both of those people. As you're connecting with your breath and with your healing intentions, also notice that there may be this desire for things to change outside. Not physically within you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually within you, but outside in the world around you. If only my child was well, or if only my friend was doing okay, or if only my parents weren't suffering. If only my partner wasn't suffering, if only my work was easier, if only my boss could understand me better. If only the world wasn't falling apart, if only. There is, in this world, never going to be a time where everything is running completely perfectly. And the sooner that we allow ourselves to accept that life isn't perfect, life as a human being isn't perfect, the more the inside stuff starts to heal. So that means our physicality, our tightening, our holding our breath, our not wanting to see, all of that stuff that's stuck in our physical body that isn't moving freely starts to loosen. Obviously, the mental and emotional stuff starts to loosen when we come into a place of acceptance as well. And spiritually, we're then able to allow ourselves to see the truth of all things. And in fact, the truth isn't actually found out in the world at all. The truth is only ever found within us, right here. So just for the next 50 minutes or so, allow yourself to focus inward, to be present to what's going on inside, and never mind what's going on in the world around us. If you haven't learned Reiki, then you can take your hands and rub them really fast, really fast, so that you make a little bit of heat in your hands. And then just take your hands and hold them like this, just about an inch, so that the palms are about an inch apart from each other. And you might notice a little bit of a sensation, maybe a vibration, a little bit of a buzz or a hum. And sometimes Reiki feels like this. It's an activation of pure healing energy that we are channeling from beyond us and that I'm channeling for each of us here tonight. And to begin a self-healing, there isn't very much that we need to do. We can simply take our hands and begin by placing them in one of the 10 hand positions. We generally start at the top and go down. So we'll start by placing our hands over the front of the face, just like this. You can leave a little space for the nose. No pressing on the eyes. We don't want to push the eyes in. We want to have the fingertips around the top of the forehead and the heels of the hands around the chin or the jawline. Taking a deep breath here, exhaling out, relaxing the shoulders. And if we need that extra cushion, this would be a good time to bring that cushion and place it just over the upper chest so that we can hinge our upper arms over top. Coming inward and feeling what's going on within our physical body, within the mind, the heart, the spirit. We're drawing this healing in through the crown of the head and into the third eye. And as I mentioned, this healing is coming from places beyond us, from higher realms, not from the imperfect human realm. And we allow ourselves to rest and simply receive this light and receive this healing. This is a very calming, very peaceful, very easy, very automatic way of bringing a high level of ease, of balance, of comfort, and of light into our entire being. Let's take one more deep breath in. Let's fill our lungs with fresh air. And as we exhale out, if it feels like the right time, we can bring our hands around to the sides of the face. We're still working with bringing healing into the crown and into the third eye. So this is healing for the brain, the higher functions of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is working on supporting all of our senses, our seeing, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and our knowing sense. Some of us here are mindfulness practitioners, and in correct mindfulness practice, we allow ourselves to observe what's arising. Notice that it lingers for just a little while, and then allow it to fall away. And during times when we're suffering so much, what muscle could be better to exercise than seeing what comes up, allowing it to live its very short life and allowing it to fall away without grasping onto it, without feeding it, without tussling with it, without pushing it. without going through the trouble of hating it. If your mind becomes exceptionally restless, then allow yourself to choose a beautiful object. It might be the breath, it might be a mantra, it might be an affirmation, it might be an intention, or it might be a recollection. Or if you're listening to the sounds of the music and the birds, you might allow your mind to go out to the sounds and notice any time that the mind has a reaction or a response. Allow the muscles of the face, the muscles around the eyes, the muscles in the jaws to loosen and relax. Allow any strain, any tension, any holding, any tightness. Anything that's arisen and hasn't been let go of, and that's set up shop in the muscles of the face. Allow them to gently release from you. And as they do, notice if there's a release in the muscles of the face as well. Taking a deep breath, and as you exhale, just see if it feels like it's the right time. And we'll place our hands at the back of the head, just as I'm doing now. So it's a good idea to have one hand just above the other instead of right over top. You want to try and cover as much space as you can. So one hand a little bit higher up, the other hand a little bit lower down. Allow the elbows to fall outwards to the sides. Allow the upper chest to open up. Taking a moment to feel if the breath feels any different here. If the chest feels tighter, looser. If the shoulders feel any different than they had before. And we're still working at the crown and the third eye when we do this. So every opening, every energy center or pathway, so the crown is one, or the major ones, the crown is one, the third eye is one, and the back of the third eye also exists. So every opening has a back of the opening. Come back if you were meditating. Come back to your object of meditation. Not with the idea that the mind is going to stay there with it, but if the mind is scattered, restless, worried, and having an object of meditation while you're practicing your healing is preferable. It's much more preferred than allowing the worries to run rampant. And if anybody has just joined, feel free to recline. So you don't have to sit up like I'm sitting. You can lie on your back and be much more comfortable. And feel free to turn off any video camera that you might have on so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable not being looked at or seen. Come back. Notice how the breath is moving through the upper chest, the belly. You might notice temperature, sensation. You might receive messages. You might see color. Let's take one more deep breath in, filling our lungs with fresh air. And if it feels like the right time to move your hands, you can remove the hands from behind your head, cross them at the wrists, and bring them right over the base of the throat, over the collarbones. Take a moment just to sense how the shoulders and the upper arms are feeling, and if you do require cushion over your upper chest to hinge your upper arms over, then feel free to bring one over so that you can feel more comfortable. I'm making my way down my list of attendees who are here tonight. Just taking a few moments with each name to send each name a little blast of Reiki. The base of the throat is also responsible. It's not just our voice, but it's also responsible physically for our shoulders, for the entire vocal apparatus, the back of the neck. And these are places where a lot of us hold a lot of tension. Some of us also hold our words. We're afraid to speak freely. We're also sometimes afraid to be seen or heard, to be beheld, to be known, or to be understood. So if there are messages, words that have been held in, things that you haven't been able to get off your chest, questions you haven't been able to ask, words you've been afraid of saying, ways that you've been afraid of being. If you feel like you have to be one person in one place and another person in another place, this is being worked on here. And if you feel brave, feel free to hum. And if you feel even braver, feel free to open your mouth and make a sound. There are messages that are coming up along the way that I feel for some of us here. And so I'll share some of them along the way. If you feel like it's for you, it probably is. And one of these is to remember you have already accomplished so much. And if there's fear, worry, if you're holding back, look at how far you've already come. Someone is very proud of you. Even if they don't tell you. As you're listening to the bird song in the background, you might recognize how natural it is for beings to express themselves. What would birds be without birdsong? Allow the healing to come in naturally, automatically, on its own. Practicing Reiki for oneself is a very yin type of activity. It's a very calm, relaxed, receptive, easygoing activity, and it feels as if we're not actually doing anything. It doesn't carry any force. There's no trying. And even if we're making sound, it doesn't have to be forced. Let's take one more deep breath in, and on the exhale, open the mouth and let out a deep sigh. And if it feels like it's the right time, we can move our hands from the throat center slightly down, just over the upper chest. So this way we don't cross the hands at the wrists like we were a moment ago. We just allow the left hand to be over the left side, the right hand over the right side. Allow the elbows to relax at your sides, to be supported. Let the shoulders drop. As we move to the heart center, we're about halfway through our healing. The heart center is I can't say it's the most important, but it's an important place for us to focus our healing. Physically, we're working on the heart, the lungs, the vagus nerve, energetically, we're allowing healing for all of those emotions that we've clung to, and all of those emotions that we have suppressed. Take a nice deep breath in and notice that expansion at the center of the body, and on the exhale, notice the release and the letting go. If we're connecting with the breath and using it as an object of meditation in a peaceful, easy way, we'll notice that the natural breath isn't hurried, it isn't forced, it isn't clinging, it isn't holding. It has its own rhythm, its own pace, its own depth. And such it is with all of the emotions and the feelings that we experience. Can we allow them to come and go? So there's a few more messages coming up for some people. There are things that are out of our hands. A lot, in fact. A lot of things are out of our hands, out of our control. So, for example, we can't control how we're going to feel about something. All we can do is allow the feeling to happen, allow it to arise, allow it to have its very short existence, and allow it to fall. Whether it's a pleasant or an unpleasant or a neutral feeling. So the stuff out there is for sure out of our control. And then the stuff that's going on in here is also largely not within our control. We can try and control for a little while. But that doesn't usually last for very long. What we can do is cultivate pathways, habits, ways of being, ways of experiencing life that are more skillful. So we're doing that now. We're bringing the focus internally instead of focusing out in the world and trying to change all of the things around us to our liking. We're tending to what's going on in our own heart in this moment. And if that's too hard, then come back to the breath. Come back to your object of meditation for a few moments. Whether it's a physical object, observing the body, or whether it's a mental object, like a mantra, or an intention, or a recollection. There's a subtle joy in attending to oneself. Some of us can feel that now. So let's take one deep breath, fill our lungs with fresh air, feeling that expansion at the chest, and exhaling out, letting go of that breath. And if it feels like the right time for you, you can take your hands and place them on the upper abdomen. So just a few centimeters above the belly button. This is the lower part of the rib cage. Allow your shoulders, your elbows to relax out towards the sides. Noticing that you can feel the gentle expansion with each in-breath and that gentle relaxation with each out-breath. This area, the solar plexus, when we're working in this area, it's hard to call it work actually, when we're placing our hands over the solar plexus in the upper abdomen, we are bringing healing for our digestion, our digestive system, our stomach, the spleen, the liver. Energetically, this is bringing healing into our our sense of self-confidence. Again, we're just resting here. We don't have to do anything forceful. There's no technique. Give yourself permission to feel like you are the favorite child of the universe, the favorite child of gods, of deities, of higher beings. Just like someone would bask under the rays of the sun, feel that you are basking in their light, in their adoration, in their love, their acceptance, their care, their kindness. Know that you are enough. Know that you belong. Allow yourself to rest and receive. Take one more deep breath here. Fill your lungs with fresh air. And on the exhale, releasing out, we'll slide our hands down ever so slightly, just across the belly button line. So right over the middle of the belly, and we're bringing in healing for all of the other organs in the center of the body. And if you feel a little hazy, a little sleepy, it is very natural. Reiki healing and Reiki energy can be very lulling. This hand position is a minor chakra, but it's an important one because with our modern sedentary lives, with our modern diet, with a lot of processed food, we tend to have a lot of issues in the center of the body, in the digestion, but also in the organs in the center of the body. So we're allowing the movement, feel that movement at the center of the body, right over the belly. You can feel like the ocean waves how the in-breath creates that expansion at the belly and how the exhale creates a relaxation. The belly can release back down towards the spine. Whatever it is that you are doing, creating, attending to, experiencing, you don't have to do it in isolation. You don't have to do it alone. So many people say that they don't have good friends, they don't have community around them, they feel isolated, alone, they don't know how to make friends. First of all, be your own friend. Be good and kind and loving towards yourself. And then find ways to help. This also goes for those of us who might suffer from anxiety and depression. In the back of my head, I'm hearing, who doesn't suffer from anxiety? And who doesn't suffer from depression? Bringing your energy into the world in a kind, helpful, thoughtful, meaningful way. Can only bring kindness and thoughtfulness and helpfulness and meaning back in your direction. And sometimes rather quickly. And you get to decide where you want to bring your energy to. Let's take a nice deep breath here at the belly, and we'll take our hands, and if you feel like it's the right time to move your hands, bring your hands just over your hips. So left hand over the left hip, right hand over the right hip. Let your shoulders relax, let your elbows rest at your sides. You might even feel, even here, you might feel that expansion and relaxation with each in-breath and each out-breath. This is the locomotive center of the body. The pelvis, the hips, the lower back. If you have felt stuck, trapped, this is being worked on now. The pelvis is also the reproductive center. So this is also being worked on now. And the pelvis is, in addition, energetically, the creative center of your energetic system. So if you felt stuck or trapped or immobilized or blocked creatively, this is being worked on now. Automatically, passively, without trying, without force. Even if you missed stating this as an intention, the healing will go where it needs to go. All you need to do is be open to receiving it. I know it sounds too good to be true. If you are here spending your time investing in yourself, in your health, your well-being, your development, your peace of mind, your freedom. In my experience, beings that are from the highest of good will travel from universes away to meet you where you're at, and to walk alongside you and to support you, to guide you. Allow yourself to feel that anything that you can conceive of is possible. Allow yourself to know that help is also possible. Let's take one more deep breath. Fill your lungs with fresh air. And if it feels like it's the right time, you can bring your hands down to your knees. Now, if you're lying on your back, just draw your knees up towards your upper body and place your hands over your knees. If you feel like you want a bit of a stretch, then draw your knees even closer towards your chin, so you can get a beautiful deep stretch in your lower back. And if you want an even deeper stretch, you can bring your forehead towards your knees so that you get a stretch in your upper back as well. Just bringing a little bit of movement into the body. We're drawing that healing down into the root area, which extends from the perineum all the way down through the soles of the feet, connecting you to the earth. And so this healing is supporting the muscles of the legs, connective tissue, the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, the balance. Energetically, supporting your survival, supporting your trust and your feeling of having a strong foundation. A lot of us are, especially in the northern parts of the world, cut off from nature most of the winter. It's part of the reason I chose this music. Remember that you are connected to all life, that you belong. Remember that you are supported by this earth, and I can feel the earth deity with us now. Namiti, namiti, namiti. And her bounty and her generosity is limitless. Her merit is limitless. Allow yourself to feel that you are provided for and that everything that you need is here. Don't believe it, know it. Let's take a deep breath, and we'll bring our hands around to the tops of the feet. So you can come into a happy baby pose with your feet, the soles of your feet facing the ceiling. Or you can bring your feet, toes together, leaving a little bit of space in the soles of the feet, and bring your hands around the tops of the feet. If you can't reach both feet at the same time, then just bring one foot up and bring both hands over that one foot, the top of that foot. Energy that is being released, congested energy, lower energy, is being released out through the soles of your feet. So we don't want to block them. We don't want to put the soles of the feet flat against each other. The toes can be touching, but not flat against each other. And if you've just got your hands around one foot, we'll go for just a minute and then we'll switch to the other. When you sit, allow yourself to remember your connection and your place here in this earth. You are not separate. You are not an outsider. You belong here. And if you are placing your hands just around one foot, then let go of that foot and switch to the other foot. And those of you who are doing the yoga poses, take a few beautiful breaths. Come back to that object of meditation, whether it's the breath or if it's a mantra. Gently come back to it for a moment or two. And taking one final deep breath in. As you exhale, you can release your feet. Just resting for a moment. Sensing your body as it's supported here. Sensing your mind. Allow yourself to recall your healing intentions. Know that the healing continues to work with you and through you. And feel free to, if you wish, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Feel free to rotate the wrists. Feel free to rotate the ankles. Feel free to take a nice, beautiful breath in and come into a nice, full body stretch. You can reach your hands up above your head. Reach your legs down, away from the head. Breathing into each joint, every muscle, the connective tissues. Blinking your eyes open if they were closed. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to share some blessings with everyone. May you be safe. May you be at ease. May you bring your attention to the things that are inside. May you allow yourself to receive healing. May you allow your heart to be open and feel whatever's there. Whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, may you see the arising and falling of whatever arises, whether it's physical or mental or emotional or spiritual. May you be guided, protected. May you feel loved. You know that you're loved. You know that you belong. You know what you've accomplished. And may you know your objectives. And may you be supported in them, in achieving all of them. May you be happy, peaceful, well, and healthy. And may you be able to see the truth that frees your heart from all suffering. Namaste. Thank you all. And I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful, relaxing rest of your evening and a tranquil and restful sleep tonight.